have just about made it all the way around with our second pass. Still got fertilizer splashing just a little bit back and forth in this 2x2 tank. Now, I've been getting some comments here lately that, you know, hey, you don't need that fertilizer system. Take that off of there. We do this, that, or the other thing. Then there's the no-till crowd. There's this crowd. There's that crowd. But what you guys don't understand is this corn that we're growing, we're running it through the end user, which is the cow, our end user. We're not sending it to market or what have you. We're not doing this as a cash crop. So the cows demand that they need a certain amount of feed every year. If we're going to feed the amount of cows we're going to have to feed, we got to make sure that we have a good, proper yield, and it is probably above and beyond any of the no-till crowd. Anybody that's in the grain market, for example, I'm getting cocky here, I know it, but if they have a dry year and the yield is kind of poor, the price is going to reflect the poor yield. That's fine, but we need tons. We need bushels too. We need tons and bushels. So we have to make sure that we put 110% in to the crop here, as far as the procedures that we have to go through to plant this and the products that we're going to put down. We get a little more yield out of this ground doing it the way we're doing it compared to some of the other guys around that claim that they can do it this way, that way, and the other way. But that's just the way we do it. Most dairy farmers, yes, they have the manure to put down, but they need a little more yield than what the grain guys are getting out of the crop. Therefore, that's why we're putting down commercial fertilizer as well. So I'm coming in a little more ground that Jared has planted. Rows are shutting off, fertilizer's shutting off, fertilizer's off, seeds off. We're kind of coming back on, and we're just kind of going with it here. Fertilizer's coming over, seeds coming over. Bang, all 16, full on. We are going to be running out of fertilizer, and being that this system is as accurate as it is, it will give me a flow detection warning. Once it runs out of fertilizer, boom, it tells me. And I've only got a little ways to go here yet, and instead of mixing these two fertilizers, I said, you know what, if I can get all the way around, I'm going to let it go all the way around. So we'll just kind of go on up through here, and yeah, so a little cocky talk, but that's the reasoning behind doing what we're doing. Somebody said a little while ago, take that 2x2 fertilizer off your planter, get rid of it, it's no good. Well, maybe so. What are we getting here? We're getting a flow detection warning. Alright, I'm out of fertilizer. It just told me so. So we're gonna pick up right there. We're out of fertilizer. We lack about 200 yards to go. So what we'll do is we'll come into here, we'll identify that we're putting different fertilizer on. We're going from 1133 to a 28.0. We'll hit OK. Controller rate. We'll set that guy. What did Jared? He went to 11. We'll figure it out at 11. Right here. Okay. Okay. Alright. 11 gallons the acre from 13. So he's going to be wrapping up that side of the field. Then he'll come back over here and he's going to work that way, and I'm going to be working this way. So when we get back from filling up with fertilizer, we're going to have to come in that driveway, and where we seen him driving down through the field to go get fertilizer, we're going to have to cut a path up through there so that we know where to pick the planter up when we're traveling east and west. He's going north and south. So we're going to work both ends towards the middle to get this field done. We've got 120 acres of this variety, so we wanted to plant this field together so that we could put all of one variety in one location. Then we can go to the next field. We need about 16 to 18 acres to spill our planters out, and then once we get into that next variety, we've got smaller fields all over the place, and then we'll split up. Bang bang, we'll just scatter, and then we'll meet each other towards the end of the day, and we should be able to have this farm planted here by tonight. We're gonna run until we're done. So this is a sod field here. This used to be sod right here, and then once we get up to that tree line, from here over it was hay, or I'm sorry, it was corn. We put a cover crop of wheat down. Then this cornfield went over so far, and we had another hay field. The hay field went over to that tree line right there, and then we had a cornfield that was running parallel with the road there. So it would be nice to keep this all in as one crop, but like I said, we have a manure storage over here, and we need to be able to have half of the acreage here to be able to apply manure to. I know it's kind of senseless for me to have to drive all the way across this field to go get fertilizer. Hey Jared, why don't you finish that headland for me? As long as you're right there, then I won't have to drive all the way over there.
Alright, I didn't even notice it wasn't done.
I ran out of fertilizer right on the corner by buckwheat.
Yeah, I see it.
So it's nice that we are able to share coverage with each other. We have not been able to do that in the past just because we didn't have the same displays working with each other. That is a subscription fee that you have to pay into John Deere to have these displays talk to each other. Now, the only other way you can do something like this is to share each other's guidance lines. Get a straight line and just use your latitude, longitude lines and your heading, and you can share a guidance line. We've done that in the past when we were mixing and matching displays. However, when you come into the headland, your rows aren't going to shut off. On the 6-row planter, that planter didn't have shutoffs on it anyways. The 12-row planter did. The other way you could do that is to shut your vacuum off, plant the headland, or just run the headland, map some coverage, and then you could have your planter shut off if the other planter did the headlands. You have to do it that way. So we have to go down to the barn down there. That's where the fertilizer truck's set up. And then when I get back up here, we're gonna have clear sailing back and forth. And maybe we'll throw the drone up and we'll kind of give you a lay of the land here as far as, you know, where is the satellite storage, what land is included in with this farm, and you'll get a better idea of how things look here on this one particular farm. So we'll go ahead and fold up. Of course, we have to use the display to fold the planter. I'm still using manual functions here to fold it. I have not used the display one time yet to have it automatically fold the planter. It will set the hitch height at a desired height, and then it will bring the wings in. Once the wings get put in, then it will go ahead and lift the wheels. But as you can see how close it gets to...
Yeah, I don't have a boundary, so I can't fill that in. There's no boundary on my map.
He has no boundary. I don't know what that's all about. Oh, this feller is turning the corner here. Go into your set track. It's not there.
It's not there, and I have no boundary. I have everything you've done, but I don't have your boundary, and I don't have your track.
Well, haven't seen that before. I think you can guess it. Just guess it going up through there. As far as the power poles go, just plant right straight through them so that I haven't got to yank the chopper around corners after 16 row. Alright, so I don't know what that's all about, but I don't know why that wouldn't have worked. Maybe because we haven't finalized the field. But at any rate, we've got corn on both sides of the road, and we've got alfalfa, and then we've got some corn strips over here where the actual cow barn and the manure storage is. So let's get filled with fertilizer, and we will get back with you. Got a car in the barn driveway. This is where Jared lives. I wonder what we're doing here. Got a car down here. Now we got another car pulling in Jared's driveway. That's the neighbor. Maybe he's got an adult beverage that he wants to share with me or something. I don't know. Oh, I know. That car belongs to a party that's probably going on right across the road here. So let's go ahead and get filled up with fertilizer here, and we'll get on with it. Yeah, they've got a party here. J-Balls. Yeah, he's got a party, so he's just gonna use the driveway, which is alright. Alright, let's go get some fertilizer. being that we ran out, we're going to have to purge here. Gotta let some air out of the system. Fertilizer coming out of each row. Looks like we're good. Yeah. We've got fertilizer going into the tanks that are on the wing. Fertilizer going into the 450-gallon tank that is on the planter frame, main frame. That fertilizer is coming out of the big tank, and then the fertilizer is going into the wing tank. It's coming out of the front one. We do need to do something different here for next year, because if we have a real big day, we don't have enough storage or enough product on this truck to be able to get both these planters through a whole day. We have had one of the stone pickers come usually, grab the truck, take it back to the farm and fill it, but we have to coordinate things and make sure both planters are full when the truck leaves, because it usually takes him about as long to fill it as it does us to plant down fertilizer that is on the planter. So we can get that one hose unhooked, and then once the other tank is full, we'll get the other one on the hook. Alright, we're full of fertilizer, and one option that this planter has on it that I absolutely love is the rinse tank that's on there. That rinse tank is designed to rinse your fertilizer system out in the event that you switch from one product to the other. But we just pulled the plug out of the bottom of this guy here, the filter housing, and then what we do is just crack, we've got fresh water in there. We just crack that valve there, and what we can do is rinse our hands. And what we can do is rinse our hands off. Now, I can go ahead and eat my lunch. I can eat pizza and hamburgers and hot dogs, you know. All of us on YouTube here, we gotta eat a full meal when we're out and about with the planters or any tractor work, you know. There's no cooler in here, by the way. So, we're not eating much. But I know some guys have to eat a full course meal and what have you, but yeah. Transport. Wing wheel left. We have that guy on the ground a little bit. So we'll lift him up. Now we'll go ahead and we'll get back to the field. Now we'll drive around the barns here. We probably should have came in the other way empty, and then we wouldn't have to drive as far loaded. But as long as we're here, maybe we'll get the drone up in the air and fly it on over here to show you the lagoon, but there's about a foot of material left in it. And if we wanted to get down in there with the skid steer and or the telehandler, we could go ahead and dig that guy out, but it's not really necessary. You can see the manure line there, which we'll get the drone up in the air and we'll show you what that looks like. All right, get on with it here. Oh wow, Somebody dropped off a 30 rack. I guess I am eating lunch. You guys see that? Huh. I'm gonna go help myself. So excited I had to jump. Look at this. I don't know who dropped this off, but we're gonna grab some. We're gonna throw this over in the back of the truck so that it ain't out in the sunlight. Actually, we'll just take it with us. We'll give Jared some too. So I lied. We do have some lunch with us. Alright. Alright, so we are in the field. We're unfolding. And I want to thank whoever dropped off the 30 rack of Bush Light. Very much appreciated. Now my brother texted me, he's kind of watching us in this field right here on the John Deere, we're going to call it the Ops Center. And we've been using that for a long time. Some guys are just discovering it. It's been there for a long time, guys. Long time. Anybody that's using this Green Star stuff, you want to get acclimated with the Ops Center. It is very handy. You can see whoever's in your organization. If you have all your equipment registered, all your tractors registered and what have you, you can see what the equipment's doing. You can see where it's at. You can do all that stuff. We've been using it for quite a little while here. My brother and nephew cut all the hay. I chop it. My brother keeps an eye on that. For example, he'll see where the chopper is, and then he knows without having to bother anybody on the phone as to, hey, how much do I need to have ahead of the chopper? Or, hey, that chopper keeps stopping. What's going on? Has he got problems or what? We better slow the mowers down. So that is a handy tool, and that's how we use it. And you can also see, you can look at your field maps, for example, and the guys that are driving truck for us, what they'll do is they'll look at it. Let's go into guidance, set track, east. No, I want Jared's straight track. So I think I want this one. So we're gonna go in on this track right here. And yeah, so yeah, our truck drivers use it. They can find out where the chopper is. They can find out various things themselves too, and it is a very handy tool. It's all app based, and all the information from your recording goes right to the Ops Center. I need to prime this fertilizer system. I thought I had it down there, but I didn't. So we'll be back with you. No, wait a minute, we don't have our solution pump on. Maybe that's why it's not coming up to pressure here. Why? Alright, I'll be back with you in a second here. We've got to get rid of some air here. Well, I know why it wasn't on. It timed out. So, let's get rid of some air. Alright, so I don't know if you guys paid attention at all when we were filling the truck up. You just open that little petcock and you let fertilizer come through the system. For whatever reason, it didn't come through enough when we were filling up, and now it is there. All the air is out of the system and we are golden. So we have fertilizer right there, running 17 psi, 3.8 gallons a minute. 11 gallons to the acre. So you can see this track coming through here. This is where Jared wanted me to run my guidance track, or where he wanted me to stop that field on my left side going east and west, and then the rest of this is going north and south. He's over there. Once we get going here, I'm gonna throw the drone up in the air and we'll show you what things kind of look like here. So bear with me. We'll be right back at you here. All right, we are getting ready to fly this drone off of, well, we just flew it off of the top of the planter here, or on top of the tractor. Damn it all. Son of a bitch. Alright, so had a little problem taking off with the drone there. This is a Mavic Pro Platinum. I had a Mavic Air 2. I was walking out of my office in the shop one day, holding on to it, and I dropped it. Broke the camera on it. And a few weeks ago here, we were flying over the top of the waterline project, or filming that with the drone. And I ended up crashing a Mavic Pro that I had from, oh, that drone was, I don't know, 6 or 7 years old. And then this drone here that you're seeing this footage on is a Mavic Pro Platinum. I picked it up out of the dingweeds there and had a little crack in one of the propellers, but we're flying it. We're going to take our chances. You can kind of see that dark streak there in the ground. I ended up getting a stone caught in the closing wheel just after I put the drone up in the air, of course, for the second time. You get that from time to time, picking stone up and whatever with the closing wheels. As you can gather from the sound in the background, we're chopping. We've been chopping for a couple weeks now, and I thought I had an actual, actual audio from when I videoed this here on, I don't know if we planted this on Memorial Day or the Sunday before Memorial Day. I think it was the Sunday before Memorial Day. However, I couldn't find the audio file, and we're just doing this voiceover here. So chopping has been going pretty good. I know I've been getting some comments here lately. We are sick and tired of seeing the corn planting videos. Well, I realize that they are some couple weeks behind, but that's just the way we roll here. So that's what we've got with this current video. I don't know how many more corn plant videos I've got. I think this might be the last one. But this is Jared with the old 16 row. This planter, I think we're going into its 8th or 9th year. We put a planter upgrade kit into it 3 years ago. So this is the 3rd season with the updated hydraulic downforce. We ended up adding the Exactorate fertilizer system to it. It's got the electric seed motor drives. And what else does it have? I think that's all it has on it that we added to it. That was about 85 grand to add to that planter. Jared has done exceptionally well this year running that planter. He had some hiccups earlier on with some wiring issues, but he ended up fixing those himself, and he just dealt with the problems and got it done. But yeah, other than that, everything's been rolling smoothly with both planters. Now we're gonna fly over, or we end up flying over to where I'm running the other planter, and this is in that 102 acre field that is up on the Cummings farm. And you kind of seen some of the drone footage from where the satellite storage is on that farm. And we just kind of threw the drone up in the air to give you guys a rough idea of how we, or where we spread that manure when we land apply it. That manure we end up bringing over to that satellite storage during the off season when the time is, well, when the weather conditions are not the greatest for the manure. So yeah. Hey Jared, did you do the short rounds on the other side of the field, other side of the woods?
Yep, this is all we got left right here.
Alright, so here's the situation. I am about out of seed. I'm going to not plant the pass back through the field. So your pass should be the last one. I'll fill up with seed, and then I'm going to fill up with fertilizer too, and I'm going to go up across some beds. And I'll plant that. And then you probably should do that C35 or C12. I don't know how much seed you got left. You shouldn't have that much.
Stop up here and we'll look. I gotta grab something from you anyway.
Okay. He needs some of that. And then we're gonna make it to the end here. So we'll join up with you here, and I'll show you what he's got left for seed. And he's about out of fertilizer too, so it looks like we're going to be filling up with seed about when he's filling up with fertilizer. So let's pull away here. Alright, so let's take him some of this liquid seed, and we'll go on over and we'll figure out what he's got left for regular seed. Shear bolt. I'm sheared. Have to get that fixed. How much you got left?
20 pounds.
Fair amount?
That's about maybe
You got a fair amount.
15, 20
So if you
pounds.
do C12 and maybe the field that Andrew pushed that pile of dirt out on, maybe that would empty you out and then go from there.
Alright.
So you want some liquid seed?
Yeah.
All right. So one pass left here, and that's going to clean up this field. We're going to load up with seed. You getting fertilizer now? You fill up with fertilizer. I'll get seed first, then I got to get fertilizer, and then I'll drive way up there. So, all right. So that is gonna do it for this video. Got a nice spread of ground here already done, and everything is working beautifully here, other than I have a shear bolt that has sheared on my gauge wheel. You sheared any gauge wheel bolts on your fertilizer disc today?
One.
I sheared 2. So, all right. That's going to do her, folks. Take it easy. And we will catch you at the next one.